Hi, I'm Daniel from Ratings.com. HDR gaming is getting increasingly popular with the release of the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro. So in this video, we're going to go over the best TVs from the 34 HDR compatible models we've tested so far in 2017. For HDR gaming, the most important aspects are the input lag, peak brightness, color gamut, and motion handling. In the budget range, most TVs which advertise to be HDR compatible don't have the ability to produce vivid, bright highlights or deep dark scenes. With that in mind, there are still good gaming TVs, such as the Samsung MU6300, with a low 20 milliseconds of input lag and good motion blur. It doesn't have a wide color gamut though, at about 76% of DCI-P3 and a peak brightness of 360 nits. If you're willing to go with a lesser known brand, then the TCL P series is a great choice. Unlike the Samsung MU6300 and most other TVs in the price range, it can produce detailed dark scenes due to the local dimming feature and has about 90% of DCI-P3 coverage, allowing it to produce saturated colors. It can also produce bright highlights, up to about 680 nits on a 25% window. It also has the lowest input lag of the TVs on this list, at about 14 milliseconds. Unfortunately, it's only available in the 55-inch size. Moving up a price bracket, the Samsung MU8000 is a mid-range TV with some improvements for HDR gaming over the MU6300. They both have similarly low input lag, but the higher-end model has a different backlight with local dimming. Unfortunately, it doesn't work well to produce deeper dark scenes, but does allow the TV to produce brighter highlights, up to 580 nits, and a fairly wide color gamut with about 83% of DCI-P3 coverage. For a few $100s more, the X900E is a mid-range TV from Sony with standout performance. Like the TCL P series, it can produce detailed dark scenes due to the high native contrast ratio and local dimming. It gets even brighter though, at almost 900 nits, and can produce about 90% of DCI-P3 coverage for saturated colors. The input lag is a bit higher than other TVs on this list, but at 34 milliseconds, it should be fine for most people. If budget isn't a limitation, then the LG OLED TVs, such as the B7 and C7, stand out for their HDR picture quality due to the perfect blacks. They also have a low input lag of about 21 milliseconds and an instantaneous response time, so fast-paced games remain clear and detailed. They can also produce bright, saturated highlights with a peak brightness of about 800 nits and 97% of DCI-P3 coverage. Unfortunately, images that are on the screen for a long time do leave a faint impression for a few minutes afterwards, and if you're worried about burn-in, you should stay away from OLED TVs. Otherwise, go with the cheapest model as the picture quality is the same across the range. TVs which didn't make our list are the Samsung QLEDs, such as the Q7, Q8, and Q9. While they can produce the most vivid colors of any TVs we've tested, the local dimming doesn't work well, and they're priced much higher than the competition. The Sony A1E OLED also didn't make the list, because although it's able to flicker the image to clear up persistence blur, it offers almost the same picture quality as the LG OLEDs, with a slightly higher input lag of about 30 milliseconds and a significantly higher price. Other high-end Sony TVs, such as the X940E and the Z9D, do offer excellent picture quality, but the prices are high. LG's LCD TVs, such as the LJ5500, UJ7700, and SJ8500, all have IPS panels and can't produce deep and detailed dark scenes. Even for the models with local dimming, it doesn't work well. In summary, if you're on a budget, go with the TCL P series or the Samsung MU6300. In mid-range, the Samsung MU8000 and Sony X900E are great choices, and if budget is not a concern, then the LG B7 is our top recommendation for HDR gaming. So that's it. For detailed reviews and measurements of each TV, check out the links below. If you like what we're doing, then subscribe to the channel or become a contributor. And thanks for watching.